The container terminal at the Port of Liverpool covers an area of around about 100 acres. Connectivity to the plant that's operating across that area is one of our key challenges. We have existing systems in place, but the benefit that we would get from 5G is a much more robust connectivity to those pieces of equipment. Particularly in the Seaforth container terminal, the straddle carriers can be travelling from one end of that park to the other. That's quite a distance, and it requires it to travel in a known location and be able to communicate all the time that it's travelling. That's really critical to us in terms of helping with real-time information.
Private 5G will give us greater control over the connectivity that we need across the ports. So it will allow us to enhance security, it will allow us to reduce latency, and also to look at bandwidth, and we can restrict bandwidth for certain functions.
At the moment we're data starved to make the right decisions to take us and take our operation to the next level. We can satisfy what our customers want, or we can far exceed what our customers want. For us, that's what our drive is. Keeping them happy, but we anticipate going past that.
So the conversation with Peel Ports Group started many months ago, and it was on the back of an initiative sponsored by the UK government around the promotion of private 5G for industry, for public sector, and for social reasons as well as everything else.
We worked with UK government, specifically with DCIT. We part funded alongside DCIT, and then we asked Logicalis to join us, and then we asked Intel if they could part fund as well. Intel look at this much like Cisco. We look around the industries in the United Kingdom and we say which ones do we think can really benefit in a digitisation strategy, and we want to seed them. Intel wants to seed them, because a lot of this technology, uses Intel CPUs, and Cisco want to seed it because we think it's really important for all of our networking portfolio, our security portfolio, as well as our private 5G.
Peel Ports had a particular challenge insofar as connectivity is key for the operation of their port here in Liverpool, and using Wi-Fi simply wasn't cutting it in terms of a robust solution. So we started a conversation along with Cisco, with Peel Ports, on how private 5G could be an enabler and could bridge the gaps they had in terms of connectivity across their port here in Liverpool.
So typically you get three types of wireless technology in these types of businesses. You get point-to-point or backhaul wireless technologies, or you get normal unlicensed spectrum wireless technologies like Wi-Fi, or you get these kind of private networks which use what we call lightly licensed spectrum. This lightly licensed spectrum, it can only be used by the person who's bought it, in this case Peel Port, and it can be used to connect over quite a wide area, quite a lot of technology. So we're connecting the cranes, the gantry carriers, perhaps some of the tug machines, and maybe in the long term, we might have push-to-talk or man-down technology on phones and tablets, security cameras, all of that stuff, as long as it can take a SIM, can now be connected using private 5G.
From Cisco's point of view, they're obviously the vendor of choice in terms of the private 5G solution that's been delivered into Peel Ports. From our point of view, from Logicalis' point of view, it was all around designing the solution. And when we talk about designing a solution for private 5G, it's about looking at the environment where the connectivity is required, undertaking fairly detailed radio planning exercises, and ultimately getting to a design that would support the proof of technology.
This excites me a lot. We've always been constrained in engineering or operations to get some sort of information or data that is not always easy accessible. It requires people to go out and capture movements and time. Whereas you have technologies now, very small devices that you could deploy anywhere and connect to a network and feed that back instantaneously in very live data. This opens that door to put that technology out there to get so much information, become so data driven that it actually excites us. Because every morning we sit in an 8 o'clock meeting looking at data, how our operation is. The private 5G network delivers that on a plate to us directly. The amount of equipment we can fit on is endless. That's the bit that excites me. It takes us to that next level that sometimes we've struggled to capture information.
In the last week since we've had the installation, we have seen that there's been less dropouts around the quayside, so we know that there is an improvement in connectivity.
Where we see this going over the course of the next couple of years or so is that we will prove the technology that it works. We'll prove that it can support whatever growth and expansion and change that Peel Ports Group wants to implement here. And we would see this potentially as the networking solution of choice across all of the ports.